How you doing, everyone? Wolfart44 back here, and this is my review of Fastlane, the WWE pay-per-view that was on last night. We'll go through some of the matches, tell you what I liked, tell you what I didn't like, and a bunch of other random junk that's running through my head. The first match I saw was Ty Dillinger Breezango versus Mojo Rawley, Chad Gable, and Shelton Benjamin. That is a handful, or a mouthful of wrestlers to say. It seems like this stuff was just kind of thrown together. Wasn't super impressed. I like Breezango. They're pretty funny, Fashion Police and all that. I'd like to see them get pushed up a little bit more. But in this match, it was just kind of, to me, paint by the numbers. Let's do some funny stuff here, do some angry stuff here. I really didn't care much for it. Kind of didn't pay attention a whole lot to it. The next match I actually did care about. And even though I knew the result was going to be something I didn't like, was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. You know, I'm sorry for besmirching Rusev Day. Even the crowd was behind Rusev in this one. I was behind him. I knew he wasn't going to win because of Shinsuke going to WrestleMania. I'm not sure why this match even happened. It just did more against Rusev, I thought, even though the crowd and I are completely behind him. But as usual, they're ignoring all of that, and they'll push whoever they want to push. But the actual action, I thought, was done really well. It was a back and forth. I thought it was pretty crisp. Wasn't the most spectacular match ever, but I've never been a huge fan of Shinsuke. But, you know, I liked it. And hopefully they start paying attention to the fact that Rusev is headed up again, and that they give him a good push. And hopefully we have many more happy Rusev days in our future. Next match was for the U.S. title, Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton. I was a little bit torn in this one. You know, I've been watching Bobby Roode for a while, you know, TNA and all that. But I've always been a huge fan of Randy Orton. I think he's one of the best wrestlers out there right now. I feel like they just gave him the U.S. title for something to do. I think that's why they had him win here, because he's not in the main title picture. I kind of feel like bad for Bobby Roode that they took it away so quickly. I mean, maybe, hopefully they'll give him a rematch, maybe a three-way at WrestleMania. Maybe he recaptures it. I'm not sure. I think it's cool that Randy Orton is now a Grand Slam champion. But this match wasn't explosive to me as I thought it could have been. They worked together kind of well. Bobby Roode, for some reason, to me, just doesn't click as well in this ring as what he did in the TNA ring. I'm not sure why. Hopefully he can find his footing better. But I didn't hate the match. It was all right. I give it, you know, in the middle ground grade. You know, maybe a B minus. It was all right. Yeah, well, there's that one. Moving on to the next one. Look, another tag team match in the women's division. I feel like there's just a giant pool of women. They're just sitting around. They got nothing to do. And they're like, hey, you want to have a tag match? Sure. Does it mean anything? Yeah, not really. It's not going to help my title hopes or anything. Maybe it's only because there's only one title on each show for the women. There's not really a whole lot for them to run for or to fight for. But be that as it may, this match did happen. Becky Lynch looking pretty decent. Naomi, still not a fan. I feel like there was a lot of moves in this match that she tried to do that just kind of fell flat for me. Natalya did her normal, really good Heart Foundation stuff. She knows what she's doing in there. I was impressed by her. Carmella really popped out for me. I feel like she's holding on to this Money in the Bank forever. So this gave her something to do, but I thought she did really well in there. I thought her moves were slick. The thing where she was wrapped around what's-her-face's neck and she was pulling down, you know, hanging backwards, I thought that was really cool. So I was actually kind of surprised at this match because I wasn't looking forward to it. I was like, oh, man, not this again. But it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it wasn't great either. I feel like they're only giving certain superstar spots to certain stars in the women's division, which is, I think, complete junk because they're just as good as everybody else. I feel like they maybe should make another title for them, do something, maybe merge the rosters together. That was a suggestion my buddy made. I don't know, but it was all right. Yeah, I was impressed. It was okay. And moving on. Next one we got is the Usos versus the New Day. I was really hyped up for this one. I was never really a big fan of the Usos way back when. I'm becoming more of a fan of them recently. I love their mic work. Their in-ring performances are always good, no matter who they're up against. I feel like they always raise up the talent. And the New Day does the same too. And I was never a fan of them either. I didn't quite get the comedy act. But they're both teams. Both of these teams are wearing on me. And I was really hyped up for this one. For what match did take place, I thought was really good. I thought they were really, starting to fire on all cylinders. And I thought they were going to, really tear the roof off. Until the Spirit of Halloween Hammers, the Bludgeon Brothers came out. I'm sorry, I thought they were just some cosplayers from the audience. I'm not sure. Now, that's not to take away from the talent of Harper and Rowan. They do know what they're doing. The double powerbomb that they gave onto Xavier Woods on the steel steps actually looked like it hurt. And I felt it in my back, in my chest. But everything was going great. They showed up. They destroyed everybody. Hopefully, they have a really kick-ass three-way at WrestleMania. I'm sure that's what they're aiming for. I think this was a really good way to not have either the New Day or the Usos lose and crybaby towards WrestleMania. This really gives them a legitimate opportunity to both be in WrestleMania at the same time, and I guarantee you that match, no matter if there's a three-way or if it's just those two, that match is going to be explosive, and I'm looking forward to it. So what match did happen before the destruction I thought was really good, and despite the fact that there was rubber mallets coming out, and I'm supposed to believe that they're hurting people, it's really, really good. So that one got a good B plus A in my book. The next match, women's title on the line, Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott. Oh, I don't know. It was there. The in-ring work was done well, but I wasn't excited about it. I was excited about the build-up to it. I think we all knew that Charlotte was going to win that one. There wasn't, in fact, this pay-per-view altogether was kind of, we already knew 2 months ago who was going to be in this one and who was going to win it. There was really no mystery or anything like that for this one. And especially in this match, it went exactly like I thought it was going to be, the way I thought it was going to go. I give kudos to Ruby Riott for, putting in some good moves there. But Charlotte's just gonna be on top for a while. We got Asuka coming in at the end saying "You and me, WrestleMania." I might actually have to root for Flair in this one. Only, I'm not saying Asuka's not a good wrestler or anything, but she needs to learn to put a mic in front of her and actually put together some sentences and put a good promo together. And that's the way I feel about Shinsuke Nakamura too. I hope that we don't end up with a champion or champions that can't cut a promo. That's nothing against who they are or where they're from. Got nothing wrong with that. But to be wrestling, you got to be on TV. You got to be able to put together a promo. You have to make me want to see what's going to happen. And those two just don't do it for me. So, and that's how I feel about that. Moving along to the final match, the six-pack challenge. I thought the first 30 seconds were pretty kick-ass. John Cena just saying, F you, F you, F you. I thought that was pretty cool. I did like how they all came back in and teamed up on him. I don't know, everybody loves to hate John Cena, so that went great. I thought everybody performed pretty well except for the one guy that I actually wanted to win it. I knew he wasn't going to, but Dolph Ziggler I felt was really left out. I know he had a couple spots in there, but I thought he was just kind of left out in the cold of this match. I felt like they used him a lot recently building up to this match. He had a lot of mic work, but they didn't really use him a whole lot in the actual match. I thought it was a decent way to kind of put Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens over to the side with their own feud and what's going on, kind of mix it through. I guess they didn't want to have an extra match, so they just threw them into this one. The whole storytelling in SmackDown recently has been kind of roller coaster, up, down, up, down, up, down. But overall, the match was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be utter chaos and just, over quickly. They surprised me, so I give them kudos to that. Except for them not using Dolph Ziggler much. The John Cena thing they did in there, being very tore up at the end, very heartbroken. I thought that played well. But we all knew AJ Styles was going to go to WrestleMania. That's just, you couldn't picture any of these other guys. Even my girlfriend, she was going for Sami Zayn. I know, but you just can't picture any of these guys. Baron Corbin, which he was in there a lot more than I thought he was going to be. Did some really good power moves. But it's going to be AJ versus Shinsuke. I really hope that they put on a good match. I'm sure they will. You know, two guys from Japan. They know what they're doing. They're vets. And that's that. So overall, I give Fastlane a C+. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't horrible. It was just kind of, here's just a basic pay-per-view. You know who's going to win. WrestleMania is right around the corner. So that's that. If you guys want to see any more videos like this, you want to see any more reviews on wrestling or any reviews on anything else, really throw it into the comments section. Let me know. Go ahead and subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And I'll check you guys out later.